Good evening, class. Nice to meet you all. Thank you for coming on board. Thank you for joining this particular masterclass, the Blueprint Masterclass with THEJOYBISOLA. Nice to meet you all. And yeah, we're going to be covering a whole lot of things today. We're going to be looking at the Excellence Code, and which is the theme for this month's masterclass. Excellence Code. What is excellence? And then we're also going to be looking at the case study. We're going to be looking at the case study, and that's the person of Daniel in Daniel 5 verse 14. And also we're going to be looking at two codes, obedience and audacity, what they truly mean and how it relates to excellence. And then we're going to be looking at how excellence is about representation, and also not just about perfection and not about applause, basically. So for 5 minutes, can you just fix your eyes on the screen while I play my mirror video on why excellence matters? And make sure you get something. This is the foundation of what I'm teaching this evening. Make sure that you grab something. Make sure you grab something. Make sure you understand what is really teaching. Okay, nice, very nice. So what you just watched is just like a version of excellence. What excellence is really is, like I said is going to be the foundation of what I'm going to be teaching tonight. And tonight, what I'm going to be showing you is what it looks like from the inside, from the builder's desk, from the founder's table, and from the place where nobody's actually watching, and you still have to decide who you are. Yes, I am your facilitator for today. I am Joy Bisola Bolarinwa, a visionary builder, a blueprint architect, and a strategist. I help you structure your vague ideas or identity into a structured and executable action. I am the creator of the Idea to Executor Accelerator Hub, and also the founder of She Lifestyle, a feminine lifestyle ecosystem and wellness brand. Nice to meet you all. So can I get to know you? Just tell me your name and what you are building or who you are, and also one a fun fact about you. So a fun fact about me is that I love plantain. I love watching Korean movies. That's it basically. For now. So can I meet you? Oh, nice. Nice to meet you, Marvelous. Nice to meet you, Yanolua. Nice to meet you, everyone. And before I teach you anything, can we do something? Can I share my screen? Let me share my screen. Okay, can we do something called the Daniel moment? A live exercise for 5 minutes. So the Daniel moment. So I want you to pick up your notes. I want you to open your notes, or you pick up your phone, or wherever you have that you can use to write down one thing, write down something. So I want you to write down the task that is in front of you right now that you have been hesitating on. Not a long list, one thing, just one thing. Don't complicate it. Something that you know that I am supposed to get this thing done, but I've not done it. Something that you're hesitating on. Just write it down. Because everything I'm going to be teaching you tonight is going to speak directly to that thing. And what I call this is your Daniel moment. And if you know, Daniel had a task in front of him, and a king offering him a reward. Yeah. And before the task was even done, Daniel said, keep your gifts, I will still do the work. And this is what tonight is going to be about. So I want you to write your Daniel moment. So are you done? Please notify me that you're done. Just drop a thumbs up that you're done. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. So let's slide. Okay. What is excellence? What excellence actually is? Yeah. So most people think excellence means doing things perfectly. Yeah. And that is not what it is. Excellence is like how you mirror heaven in your work. Excellence is how you show up to a meeting prepared, and it is how you deliver what you promise even when no one is watching. Yes. Excellence is not an art that you perform. Excellence is not that, oh, I wake up today and I want to perform this. No. Excellence is the language you speak in whatever you are doing, whether career, whether business, whether as a student, whatever you find yourself doing. Excellence should be the language you speak, most especially as a builder. Now, I want to lay a foundation that, though I'll still buttress on it, you are called to do something. The fact that you are on earth means you are meant to do something. The fact that you are currently wherever you are means there's an assignment for you there. So God is so intentional about you. God is so intentional about you, and that is the reason why you are here today. That is the reason why you joined the class today. Yes, because you can just see it and pass. But one thing is that God is so intentional about you. And you being on earth this moment doesn't mean that you're on earth just for on earth's sake. So I want you to understand that you're not supposed to act like whatever you think you can do, or you're not supposed to just do anything you think you can just do. But being a career person, you're supposed to mirror excellence in whatever you do. And being a business person, you're supposed to mirror excellence in whatever you are supposed to do. More in a meeting, maybe you have a board meeting, you have a meeting with your team, you have in school, how you present your projects, how you speak. Here, so I'm going to like buttress on three things that excellence is not. Excellence is not perfection, excellence is not attention, and excellence is not optional. I want you to understand those three things. Now, when I'm talking about perfection is about the product. Excellence is about the posture. Now, let me explain. Let's say you want to produce a journal, and you've worked on the journal, you've made your research, you've done visibility study on it, you've done all the necessary things you're supposed to do just to make sure that this journal sells well. That's the goal. And also, this journal meets the needs of your target audience. And then this journal also mirror the offer that you're teaching out. That is about the products. But what about the posture, the heart, the intention of why you are creating that journal? Are you creating that journal just for creating its sake? No. You've seen it that, okay, this is what I want to do, this is who I am, and this is who I am. Because, okay, this is who I am. Now, in the last masterclass, that is the Clarity Code masterclass, the first code was clarity of identity. That's letter C. And I think one of the major things that I emphasized on was that you have to know who you are before you can dish yourself out. So you can't draw from an empty, you can't give from an empty cup. Should I use that word? So you can't give out from an empty space. So that means if you don't know who you are, you can't dish out. That's number one thing. So when you know who you are, then you won't compromise on your excellence. You won't compromise on your posture. Now, we're talking about giving out journal, right? Okay, so you've done everything that is required for that product to be perfect and for that product to come out nice. Now, the posture is that, okay, for this journal to come out nice, you've done your pricing strategy, you've done your marketing campaign, you've done your content strategy. Now, how it will work well is that, number one, you're not comparing yourself with another person. Number one, you are doing it based on your level of resources, based on your level of capacity. Number two, you are doing it based on the best that you can actually give out this season, this period. Now, you now look at your launch strategy, and you now look at it that, okay, for you to, let's say, for example, I'm trying to look for an example. Let's say, Temilade Salami. I don't know if you guys know Temilade Salami, the global Temi. So she did tutorial, I don't know how to pronounce it right? And I don't know if you guys know it. And she did like a pop up everywhere. London, um, London, where again? Lagos, Abuja, and so you too, you want to launch your journal. You say, okay, I want to do pop up. You know that pop up might not be the best thing, but the posture is that you do your due diligence and you do it based on your capacity. You're not comparing yourself. You're not saying that, oh, because I did not do it the way this person did it, I have failed. I don't even understand what I'm saying. So, and that's why there's this saying, there's something I said, you can produce an imperfect thing excellently. You can produce an imperfect thing excellently. The two are not the same. Yeah. I kid you not that you can do an online launch campaign for whatever you are, or for your product or for your services, and it will come out excellently. Instead of you comparing yourself with another person. But look at what works for you based on your level of capacity and launch. That is excellence. And that is the posture you're supposed to have towards excellence. Now, excellence does not require an audience. It says that you don't need people to watch you before you do things excellently. Daniel did not need the king watching him to operate with excellence. He operated the same way he did when he was in the den and also in the palace. And if you notice, Daniel had his own time, his own prayer time. Daniel was, they say he was filled with wisdom. So that means he has given himself to knowledge. He has given himself to learning, even both word of God and also when it comes to spiritual growth. So Daniel was even growing in every aspect. Daniel was not limited. Yes, there was nobody as busy as Daniel because we kind of, I think I saw it in the Bible that okay, Daniel even had a governmental role, and still he did not compromise his prayer time. And of people around him, Daniel had some like set of people that they understood both his level of spirituality, the level of operation and all. So that means it's even easy for Daniel to actually operate because those that he flocks around operate at the same level. I don't even understand what I'm saying. So you don't need that, oh, a king has to be watching you. And one thing is that you operate from the inside out. So something that you do inside, it will be so glaring outside. So if Daniel had not had like a consecration time, if Daniel had not behaved the same way he did in the den, he won't be able to even mirror it in the palace. Even if he pretends to do it at that point, it will still show forth who is really is. Portray on your inside is something you portray outside. So if you're somebody that give yourself to learning, you will see it outside there. If you're somebody that give yourself to growth, it will surely show outside there. I don't even understand what I'm saying. So the third point is that excellence is not optional. This is one that changes everything, right? So when you are called to build, especially systems, structure, excellence is not even a style choice. Excellence is not something that you have to like compromise on. Excellence is your identity. Excellence is excellence is your identity. Excellence is how you recognize. Excellence is how you are recognized. See, one thing you should understand is that God honors diligence. Yes. So when you put in the hard work and you are being consistent, so there are so many things that is supposed to even be in place. Hard work, consistency, diligence. When you keep putting in this thing, one day the world will see what you are building. Because one thing is that the world listens to excellence. If you look at the story of top people that we see today, if you look at the story of the people that we see as mentors today, see as, oh, they're doing well today. If you know that backstory, they took a decision that I will keep building, I will keep pouring out, I will keep doing well. For example, is currently Diary of a Kitchen Lover. We saw the Delicious of Disaster season 1, Delicious of Disaster season 2, and the whole backlash, the whole thing. But trust me, she came out excellently well in season 3, even bigger, way more bigger. That is how you grow. Give it a matter of time. By the time we see season 4, season 5, season 6, it's going to be like on a global stage because She has been building it excellently. And one thing about building is that you have to lay the first brick before you can see the next brick that you're going to lay. By the time you lay the first brick, you will see the lessons, you will see the success story, you will see what failed, then you will learn from it, and from there you will re-strategize for the next layer of brick that you want to lay. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So stop treating excellence as an art. Start living it as a language, because the world may not listen to what you believe, but they cannot ignore how you build. The story will tell one day. Do you understand? So next slide. Let me how to change my okay. So we're going to be looking at the two codes now. Like I said, obedience and also audacity. In the excellence code, there are two codes. We have the obedience and we also have audacity, like I said. And these two codes working together are what excellence look like in motion. Yes. Working together, you see your excellence play out. Like you just see it play out. Now, let's look at code one, obedience. Let me tell you something that will change the way you build. Let me tell you something that will change your mindset towards building. First thing first. First thing first. I want you to understand. I emphasize, actually emphasize on this in the last masterclass. That was the clarity code masterclass. You don't need full clarity to start. You need obedience. And obedience is like you having enough clarity to take your first step. Now, let's say what you are told to build is that start this. The instruction is maybe start this, do this. Let me use myself an example. So in 2024, I received this idea, or I believe that I operate with Holy Spirit. So any idea I have is backed by the Holy Spirit. I'm so sure about that. So I think I also mentioned this in one of my videos that I get ideas in AK market days. I get ideas even when we're having conversation. I can get ideas instantly. So getting ideas is actually my gift, and that's why I can proudly say or boldly say that is backed by the Holy Spirit, basically. So I got this idea in 2024, She Lifestyle. And at that point, the God gave me I had this clear instruction of what to do. That She series and also She products. Yeah, right? So I took a while, it took a while for me to launch it, because at that point I think I just finished my service and I was still job hunting. So my attention was divided. And also, another thing was that I delayed it a bit. But it got to a point that it was so heavy that I had to just, based on my level of capacity at that point, so where I was staying then and all, I just had to gather people. Then I borrowed phone, borrow somebody's phone, gathered people, then invited somebody. Okay, let's talk about um let's talk about this. Then we'll divide into episodes, which and stuff like that. And that was what I did, and that's how I came up with She series. Okay, I think the first She series episode one, I used carousels just to dish out the knowledge I had at that point. Then season two, I was like, okay, it's going to be video. Then I did season two videos. Now I delayed it a bit and a bit and a bit, but I eventually did it. I did it, but I didn't come up with the product. So later on, the product was now so strong in my heart, and that was She Journal. Then She Journal, there's just been a back and forth on She Journal and all like that, right? Then recently, I just want you to understand something, that you don't need a full clarity to start. You just need to take the first step. Then the second step will show forth. So when I did season two, She series, I put it on my YouTube page, and alas, season three was already so clear that okay, do this. Then I knew that I had to do better than that. Okay, to do better than that is actually very easy. Then it's easy now, right? Then the second part of it is now um the product journal. I was supposed to have launched this journal since that same 2024. 2024 or 2025. 2025. I didn't launch this journal. Till now, I've not launched the journal. So I now got a bigger idea, like more clarity on she lifestyle and what even encompasses it, how it even relates to my parent company, kind of the parent brand. And I now noticed that the starting point of this great idea, the starting point, I had to like get a board to flesh out this new idea. And I know like the starting point of this idea is still the journal and also she series season 3. So sometimes obedience is key in whatever you are doing. So meaning I don't even have choice that for me to still do that journal. Yeah, I don't have choice that for me to still print out that journal. And I look at it that, oh wow. So that means I can't even escape my first step. I have to still do my first step, do my second step before I can actually work on the idea that I actually have now. I don't even understand what I'm saying. So your first step matters. The first brick of your foundation matters. The first brick of your building matters. You can't skip it. You can't. So obedience is actually key, especially when you're a builder. So being a builder, can I also explain this, that being a builder doesn't mean that builder per se. So being a builder means maybe you're building your career, you're building your business, you're building yourself, you're building your personal brand, your identity, or maybe you have something that you're actually working on. Means that you are building something. I don't even understand what I'm saying. So when God calls you to build, He really gives you the whole blueprints at once. I want you to understand that. God will not show you the full picture, but He will give you a brick. When you lay that brick, the next one will appear, not before, after. And clarity does not always come before the step. Sometimes it comes through the step. And as you keep building, you understand who you are. You're okay. As you keep building, you understand who you are. You get more clarity on your purpose, and you will get to see what you are building. So that means you have to keep taking that everyday decision towards what you are building, towards your blueprint. So you have to keep sketching your blueprint. And sketching is you taking that decision every day and you keep working towards your idea every day. Do you understand? So by the time you sketch the foundation, then you sketch the room, you sketch the door, you have to you're taking decision. And to get to a point where you will see the whole blueprint, I'll be like, yes, this is what I was building so far. So by the time you look back, you'll be able to see that, okay, that's why they will say that hard work pays, diligence pays. That's why you say that, okay, you have to keep building. I don't even understand what I'm saying. Let me paint another scenario so that you can understand better. So let me use, I can drive, so I think I can use this scenario. So when you are driving at night, you know that your headlights will actually show you about 50 meters ahead. It will show you the whole road. But you keep driving because you trust that the road continues. So obedience is like you driving at night. You do not see the destination to take the next 50 meters. So you just take the first 50 meters, and as you're taking, by the time you take the first 10, the next 50 meters shows. You take the next 20, and you keep showing till you get to the last bus stop. And most builders are waiting for the complete picture before they actually. So the mistakes that most builders make is that they are waiting for the complete picture before they move, and also while they wait, the brick sits. So the next one never appears because the next one only appears when you lay the one you already have. I don't even understand what I'm saying. So you have to make it an everyday thing for you to, like, you are taking a decision towards what you are building, you are doing something towards what you are building. And if you look at Daniel did not wait for full clarity on how his story will end. He actually waited for, he was thrown into a situation and he simply operated with excellence in that situation. And he did not ask for the, and if you noticed, Daniel operating in excellence in that situation was as a result of what he has built. So he did not ask for the full plan, he obeyed what was in front of him, and the next brick appeared. So builders do not wait for clarity, and that's why I called you guys excellent builders. So builders do not wait for clarity, they create it through obedience. You may not see the end, but you know who started it. Take note of that. And that is enough for you to take the next step. So take that first step today. That thing that you're hesitating, you've written it down already. Take the first step towards it. The first step can be like getting a mentor, learning. That can be the first step. So let's look at the second code, audacity. Yes. Obedience gets you moving, right? And audacity keeps you moving. Let me say it again. Obedience gets you moving, and audacity keeps you moving when everything around you says stop. By the time you look at your ideas and you look at it, be like, hey, this thing is bigger than me. Yes, most times I've sketched ideas. So I have a journal that is full of ideas. But most times, maybe it's not yet the time, or most times I'm building towards it bit by bit. So like She Lifestyle now, I have like a 5-year plan, kind of. And there's a God that has a God of speed. He can bring a 5-year plan into a 1-year plan. It's actually very possible. But you still have to take the first step before you can take the second step. So I know that, okay, after this, I know what to do next. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. But I want you to understand that obedience gets you moving, like I said. Audacity keeps you moving when everything around you says stop. So audacity is not arrogance. Audacity is not recklessness. Audacity is the spirit of faith that says, I know what I carry and I refuse to let fear determine what I do with it. I want you to understand that. There is a gift inside of you, and that gift is the basis of your purpose. Yeah. There is a gift that you carry, and that gift is the basis of whatever you are building. The gift is the fuel, the engine of your purpose. It is what builds your blueprints. It is what builds your vision. When you recognize what you carry on your inside, when you truly understand it, something shifts. I kid you not. Your confidence builds, and your boldness increases, and your becomes audacious. I want you to sit down with that. There is something that you carry on your inside that is like the engine to your vision. And one thing is that when you now understand what you carry, you become audacious. Your boldness increases. Now let me paint a scenario for you. You know how when you are really good at something, I mean really good, really, really good, and you stop being nervous about it, that you are so sure that if they wake you up in the night, in the middle of the night to do this thing, you can do it. You just do it. At that point, that is a level of confidence. It's not actually arrogance, so it's not that you're being pride or you're being arrogant. No, that is the result of you knowing what you carry. And audacity is what happens when confidence meets assignment. Now let's look at it this way. You know that you carry, okay, for me, like I said, I've practiced audacity. I said in this class that I bet ideas. I can be sleeping and ideas come in. I can be teaching and I have ideas. I can be talking to somebody and I'm telling you that I can actually study you and tell you that, if you go in this route, you'll get it. So I had a friend then when I was serving. If I want to go out, that doesn't mean that I don't know how to combine my jean and my top. But there's this thing that if you tell her that, okay, I want to do something like this, she will tell you wear this, wear this, wear that, wear this. Oh, combine this earring with this. And I told her, she's not into fashion at all. But I told her that, have you ever considered going into styling? I'm serious. So I know that I can bet ideas. I can look at you and say that, oh, why have you not tried this? Why don't you do this? Why can't you do this way? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Now, if I want to make that a thing, I kid you not, I am so confident that I can tell you that this is your idea, go this way, go this way. And like I said, it is a gift that I carry. So we have 9 gifts, 9 spiritual gifts. And I can operate in the 9 of them, but there are some that are very dominant. There's word of wisdom and there's word of knowledge, and also discernment. I'll operate in discernment, and also tongue of the learned. So that's tongue of the learned. I'm so sure of this, my gifts, right? I like is so dominant. I operate in others, but those ones are very dominant. Tongue of the learned, like I said. So that is a gift I carry on my inside. So relating it with what I do, relating it with structuring people's ideas, relating it with betting ideas, that is something I can confidently do with boldness, with everything that is in me. So audacity now comes in when I know that, okay, this is the gifts I carry. This is what I can do. That is confidence plus assignment coming together. That is audacity. That's why you have to know yourself. That's why you have to know your assignment. You have to know your purpose. When you know your identity, you get your purpose. When you know your identity, you might not even get the full picture of your purpose, but part time, this season, where you are now, you will know what to do and how to build it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. No, in Daniel 5:14 said, the king looked at Daniel and said, I have heard of you, that the Spirit of God is in you. Daniel, if you know in Daniel 5:14, the Bible says, the king looked at Daniel and said, I have heard of you, that the Spirit of God is in you, and that light and understanding and excellent wisdom are found in you. So that means not average wisdom, it said excellent wisdom. So that means the king, a man who did not even serve Daniel's God, could see it. So that is what audacity look like. So by the time you show up obediently, by the time you show up excellently, you show up audaciously, you showing up is obedience, right? And you now show up excellently, you show up audaciously. That is excellence in motion. So it will be so undeniable that even people who don't share your belief system cannot ignore it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So Daniel did not settle for the king's reward before carrying out the task. So you don't look at it that, what do I stand to gain? That's not audacious faith. Audacious faith is you showing up and you doing it. Right? Because there is a bigger purpose than what the king can offer. I don't even understand what I'm saying. So, despite fear, despite challenges, despite what the belief system of your environment says about who you are and what to carry, I want to encourage you this evening that stay up your faith. Your audacity is your level of faith in motion. Stir up your faith. Your audacity is your level of faith in motion. So let me take a break. So if you have any question, you can just notify me and I will answer. I'll just take a break and I'll answer. So Ian, you have a question. You said it's personal. So okay, so the gifts for the first three people that actually joined the masterclass and the three of you, right, is that you will have access to my. So in the last masterclass, Clarity Code Masterclass, I actually launched the Clarity Code audits, and it's a low ticket offer. It's just like a low offer. It's just a low chicken money. And one of the things that come with it is that you will have like a free one-on-one session with me. So for you, I'm going to give you free access to the Clarity Code audit, because you have to even understand your identity, your purpose first. Then you have your one-on-one session with me. Please note your personal question down so that during the one-on-one session, you can ask me, then I will answer. Does that answer your question? Okay, very good. So let's move. Excellence as a culture. Most people actually treat excellence like a gear, kind of, that they shift into when it matters. More of like, okay, oh, I'm in a boardroom, I have to behave excellently. Oh, my manager is watching me, I have to behave excellently. I have to do well. Or people are watching me, so I have to do. That is not excellence. That is actually performance. Yes. So Excellence becomes your language when it is how you operate when no one is watching. Excellence becomes your language when you operate excellently when no one is watching. Yes, excellence becomes your language. When you are preparing for a meeting that has not been announced yet, when you are packaging an order for one customer, with the same care you will give to 100. When you are building something privately that the world has not even seen yet, but yes, you are doing it excellently, you are working based on your core values, diligence, you are putting excellence into your core values, and in creating or in speaking to one customer, you are speaking to that customer as if yes, you are speaking to the top officials in the world, yeah, I don't even understand what I'm saying. So when you are building something, you build with the mindset that okay, everything I do, from building to creating content, to packaging customer order, to getting customer order, to speaking to people, to preparing for your meetings, speaking to the board, doing everything you are doing it excellently. So excellence is one of the divine strategies of heaven. It is how heaven gets attention on earth. I want you to understand that. Excellence is how heaven gets attention on earth. So, and one thing about me is that here's what I love about excellence as a culture. If you think you are stuck, you can actually press the reset button and start again. You've not failed. Excellence doesn't measure your failure. Who told you you failed? Nobody. What measures the failure or what measures the success? Because for you to operate, you have done it based on your level of capacity, done it based on the level of resources that you have. So excellence is not about a perfect record. It is about a consistent posture. You fall, you reset, you rebuild. Yes, because you build excellently. So that means when you do something first time, it did not work. You learn from it, you rebuild again. But you get it. So it's about you doing it consistently. Oh, I've been working on this thing. People are not seeing me. People are not, no. To get to a point that people will see the hard work that you've put into it. So stop treating excellence as an act you put on for important moments. No. Start living it as the standard you cannot lower, even in private. Especially in private, because who you are when no one is watching is who you actually are. And like I said, you operate from the inside out. So what you do from inside is something that will show forth outside. You don't even understand what I'm saying. So moving on, so let's talk about the cosmos. I want to talk about something that does not get enough airtime in conversations. I want to talk about something that people does not really talk about when it comes to building, and I call it the cosmos. So let me lay a scenario. So I actually watch olden days Korean war movies where they use sword to fight. In the olden days, like Korean history movies, all this example Jumong. I actually watched Jumong so many times. I can't count. So in Jumong, you know that when they are going for war, there are other examples of war movies. There's like the king, there's like the chief commandants, there are generals. So they will lay like a map on the table, and on the map you will see them point and pinpoint, oh, this is where they will gather the first time maybe they want to enter the war. They will put on they will also pin where they will retreat. They will also pin they will even talk about timing. They will talk about placement. They will talk about retreat, how they retreat. They will talk about timing, or when they will launch the attack, maybe in the night, maybe during the day. And after that, if you look at it, when they see that oh, they're already fighting and they can't win, they will blow the bingo. They will retreat. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Then they will retreat, right? Then it also gets to a point that they will maybe when they win the war and they've not killed the general, they will still have to like continue the battle and stuff like that. That's just example. So let me now give you an example of that in this world, this system. Now we are on a battlefield, whether you like it or not. We are on earth, on a battlefield. And God is the chief commandant. God is our chief commandant, and God is more of like the king, like the one that gives order. And God has placed me on earth at this point, maybe on like here. God has placed you here. God has placed somebody here. God has placed, so that means wherever you are, God has placed you somewhere on earth to fight the war. And God has given you an assignment. God has given you a gift inside of you. God has given you a specific thing that you are created to carry. God has given you the assignment. Each and every one of us. And how you're supposed to do it in your unique world, in your cosmos. The territory that you're supposed to occupy. What you're supposed to build in that territory. What you're supposed to, the system you're supposed to outgrow in that territory, the what you're supposed to conquer in that territory. I'm very sure God has given it to you, and all is there, right? And there's also a retreat zone. Or maybe you got to a point you're building, you're tired, or you retreat, you rest, you recuperate, you continue again. Even when you're working, one of the major things is that you have to give yourself to rest. Then, and that gets to a point that as you are doing your own, as I'm doing my own, as this person is carrying out their own, we are winning the war. I want you to understand. So it's more of like the battle axe principle in the Bible. So you are winning. If you keep winning, that means we are conquering together. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So that is the cosmos principle. So in your cosmos, in your unique world, if you pay attention, you will notice that there's something you find yourself doing. There is a problem you find yourself solving, and there is a conversation you always find yourself in. That is not a coincidence. That is your cosmos telling you something. It is showing you the specific territory your excellence is meant to occupy. So that means he's showing you something that you are meant to do in your territory, where God has placed you, where God has mounted you, where God has placed you. So when you recognize what is in your cosmos, when you recognize the gifts, the assignment, the territory, you build your blueprint step by step as it comes. So that means at that point you obey the order from heaven keenly. You obey the order from heaven keenly, then audaciously you take your first step. So by the time you take your first step, to win the war is actually very simple. Because at that point, imagine everybody taking their first step. Oh, we've conquered a lot. By the time another person takes the second step, that means we are winning, we are winning. I don't even understand what I'm saying. So it can be, your cosmos can be your career, it can be your business, it can be wherever you find yourself, ministry, anywhere you find yourself, there's something you're supposed to be building at that particular season, at that particular point. So excellence is what you bring to your cosmos. It's the standard you set for the territory that you occupy. Daniel's gift was interpretation, wisdom, discernment. And he brought excellence to that cosmos. He brought excellence to his king, even in a foreign kingdom. He was in a foreign kingdom, even under prayer, even when his life was at risk. His cosmos did not change based on his circumstances, and neither should yours. So your cosmos is not determined by your conditions. Your excellence in your cosmos is what elevates your conditions. Do you understand? So let me bring this home. Let me round up with this. We'll talk about the excellence walk, right? Excellence walk is seen in obedience and audacity. Not talent alone, not gifting alone, not strategy. It is the combination of both steps, and that's obedience, with the spirit of faith, which is audacity. I don't know what I'm saying. So Daniel did not settle for mediocrity. So just like he did not settle for the king's reward before he carried out the task, because there was a bigger purpose. So there is if you look at what you are building, look at it keenly. There should be an impact. There should be a bigger purpose. So when you recognize the impact of what you are building, when you recognize the bigger purpose of what you are building, then you'll be able to like push. You'll be able to push, you'll be able to do more excellently, even beyond where you are now. So when you are building with a bigger purpose, you cannot afford to build with a smaller standard. So when you recognize the impact of what you are building, you won't build with a smaller standard, you will build excellently. So this is my final charge for you. Those who do their work excellently will stand before kings and not mere men. That is not a promise about one day. That is a principle about now. So start now, build excellently, and obey audaciously. So tonight we have the two codes actually, obedience and audacity, and the culture that they create when you live by both. Let me say this. Excellence work is seen in obedience and audacity. Actually, it's not talent alone, but it's needed. It's not gifting alone, but it's needed. It's not strategy alone, but it's needed. Now, I want you to understand something. That sometimes your first step can be you learning. Your first step can be you getting a mentor. Your first step can be you taking a bold decision to start. And your first step can be you structuring your ideas. And that is what I do in the Ideas to Execution Accelerator. It is a structured program where you take the gifts in your cosmos, build the clarity around it, give it a structure, give it an offer, take your first real executable step. It is the blueprint program. And if it is a blueprint program, yeah, basically. And if tonight made a stir in you, that is your break, actually. And the accelerator is how you lay it. At the beginning of this class, I told you that write that write that one task that you've not be able to execute. And how you will lay that brick, how you lay your first brick, the accelerator will help you do that. I want you to know something, that even if you don't have the structure to build yet, but you have the obedience, that's the willingness to move, and you're so unclear on exactly how to move forward, or how to move towards what you are building, or how to even start what you are building, that is what the Ideas Execution Accelerator is for. Because tonight I've given you the two codes, obedience and audacity, and the culture they create when you live by both. So you need to lay the first brick. You can join the Ideas to Execution Accelerator, and for you to join, the link is in my bio to register for the Ideas to Execution framework. And or you comment brick, or you DM me brick, or you DM me accelerator, or you comment accelerator, I will send directly to you. I want you to know that excellence is not optional, it is obedience. And obedience is the first art of excellence. I am THEJOYBISOLA, and I will see you building. Thank you very much for joining the masterclass. See you in the next class.